Among the many dangers that the Bible warns us about, there are multiple passages that deal with the danger of the sin of covetousness. Good morning. This is Pastor Ernie Lewis of the Blue Point Church in Sisney, Illinois, with your thoughts for Monday. Unfortunately, we live in a day when we simply acquaint covetousness with the American dream. Perhaps the American dream is one venture that has driven us toward covetousness. You know, it used to be the ideal that every citizen of the United States should have an equal opportunity to achieve success and prosperity through hard work and determination and initiative. But later, that American dream became owning a big house, perhaps having 2 cars, having 2.5 children, having a sizable investment, or maybe a thriving personal business. It is a phenomenon that used to be called keeping up with the Joneses. Well, Jesus said in Luke chapter 12 and verse 15, "Take heed and beware of covetousness, for one's life does not consist in the abundance of the things he possesses." That is so counterculture with our American society. Yet we see the dangers that Christ is referring to in our lives. Very often we get that idea that my life does consist in the abundance of the possessions that I have. Paul even warned about those who would become lovers of self, lovers of money, lovers of pleasure more than lovers of God. That's why there are more families camping on Sunday in the summer than there are actually in the house of God. You see, covetousness is a materialistic view of life that turns us away from God and toward things. That's why Paul acquainted covetousness with idolatry. In Colossians 3 and verse 5, he said, "Therefore, put to death in your members, which are on the earth, fornication, uncleanness, passion, evil desires, and covetousness, which is idolatry." Idolatry is simply putting anything in the supreme place that God deserves in our lives. We must not totally blame ourselves for this covetousness. I mean, it is the main work of the advertising industry today to make you feel like we need everything that they are promoting. Marketing has become such a racket that it does studies in order to see what makes a person want things even more. Well, unfortunately, this is also a problem in the Christian life where we begin to believe in the fact that God has not blessed me enough, or we're never satisfied with the blessings that God gives us. You see, all this covetousness flies in the face of this week's holiday celebration, right? It's Thanksgiving. If we were truly a thankful people, we would not be seeking and desiring more and more. The songwriter once said, "Count your many blessings and name them one by one." But instead, we've gotten to the place where we make a mental list of the blessings of others, and perhaps we name them one by one. Do we ever question why God blesses some people so abundantly, but perhaps not us? I mean, it's easy to think they probably came by their blessings in some ill-gotten gain. No. Actually, a fair distribution of wealth sounds like a liberal policy, almost like promising a chicken in every pot or something. There are several ways to combat against covetousness. One is to learn contentment. Paul actually said, "I have learned in whatsoever state I am in, therewith to be content." There are also other ways that we can do that. One way to combat covetousness is by being generous. You know, the more that we're generous, we begin to see those around us who have less than we do. And of course, we need to increase our faith, coming to the place where we say, "I'm trusting in God, and He is going to give me whatever I need in this life."